Recently, I've been thinking a lot about capitalism and markets and quality of life. I'm a capitalist, but I'm also an engineer, and I really want to push back against this concept that a lot of my capitalist friends and a lot of the capitalist thinkers of today have, that the market always knows best, that the market always creates the best, that the best things you can buy are available on the market, or the best things that can be are produced and available on the market. I really don't believe this. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. In fact, there are market mechanisms like designed obsolescence that work against this, and I think that people have gone way too far towards the end of relying on markets and institutions as well. People think that you want something, you can't do it yourself. You need a specialist. Some specialist needs to create the perfect thing, the ideal thing, and then you consume it from either, if you're a modern capitalist, you consume it from the market, or if you're a modern socialist, you consume it from some institutions. But I disagree with both of these things. I think there is a place for markets, and I think sometimes markets do best, but sometimes markets give you complete crap products, products that are really inferior to the things you could do yourself as a non-specialist. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot as a capitalist. You know, I believe in private property. I believe in private ownership of property, but also private production. You know, is it really true? So it's a rough walk here. Is it really true that you can't create good things for yourself, and that the best things are always from the market? And I think that my experience personally is that it's not true. Looking around my house, I see so many complete crap products. For instance, I have a cooking spoon, which the spoon end fell off of the stick, and the stick was just some cheap rolled metal. And I thought, I could make a better one out of wood. I could make a better one out of metal. I've got all this aluminum that I've been saving up to recycle. I can melt it down, make a mold out of clay or something like that, and I could have a better spoon that will last me decades. And I wouldn't have to pay for the materials. I got the materials right here. And then I wouldn't have to pay for recycling, and I really think that just by closing the loop and being a little more innovative about making use of what you got, like my grandparents were, like previous generations always were, we can have a much better quality of life. We can have better products and things that aren't gonna break down. And that's one reason why I want to live here on the farm and the rural areas. I want to experiment with this more traditional capitalism, I guess, rather than relying on the market for my recycling and then all my products and then everything else. I want to see when it's better to do something yourself. Maybe I can recycle myself. Maybe out of the recycled materials I can make better tools myself. And maybe with those tools I can build a better house for myself. Maybe I can get better electrical infrastructure and so on. And I think to bring this back to kind of a bird's eye view, capitalism does not always mean relying on a market. For a service or a good. It means individuals choosing what they want to do with their property, and this assumption that you can't do well yourself, that you need a specialist, is often not true. I think we've become over specialized, and even though I could make a very good salary as a software engineer or doing some finance, being a banker or something, and then I could spend that money on the market, I really think I will have a better quality of life spending some of my time as a farmer, some of my time as a welder, some of my time as an electrician, and I will apply my specialized knowledge in an innovative way in terms of software and other engineering. But we humans are adaptive. That's our strength as animals. That's been our prehistorically, that's been our role in ecosystems, is adapting to different climates, to different situations. And particularly today, in the age of robotics and the information economy, specialization is pushing many people out of their economic niche, as robots take over their factory jobs, or as applications and AI take over their office jobs. Even lawyers, even doctors. You have machines that perform eye surgery now. You have AIs that will do the diagnoses, or will write you your legal contract. And I think it's time for people to stop thinking of themselves primarily as specialists. It's time for us to go back to generalization, to think critically and holistically about your life, and what really can you do for yourself? What really resources do you have locally, and what kind of quality of life can you create with those, as opposed to just always buying something off the market, which is almost always made in China, almost always morally compromised. The spoon I mentioned, I'm sure was made in China. I'm sure that the workers were in really inhumane conditions, if not prison slave labor. Maybe there was a Uyghur in prison for their religion or something that made my spoon, I don't know. But I know that I don't feel comfortable with it, and I know that I can make a better one. So yeah, I'm thinking it's time for a new, old type of capitalism. It's time for us to rediscover generalization as a strength of humanity, and embrace technology specializing. Allow technology to specialize for us, as we generalize and think, how can we use the technology? How can we leverage the technology, which is our private property in many cases, to achieve the quality of life and the type of life that we want? Not just technology, nature. Nature does so many things for us. And a beautiful butterfly here, sorry. Nature does so many things for us. And for instance, with water treatment, nature still does the best water treatment that we can think of. Wetlands. And it's time we stopped destroying these things, to thinking that we can do water treatment ourselves, and we can do something else with this wetland, make a development, a riverfront development or something, and recognize the strength that's there, the specialization that's going on there. and incorporate it strategically. So that's why I'm here. That's what I'm thinking. It's a new old capitalism. Generalization strategically over specialization. Do it yourself over always rely on markets and institutions. But still, do it creatively as an individual. It's your private property, and you need to take creative responsibility for using it, and as well as from the waste and everything. Make creative use of it, and that's how you can have a better quality of life. You don't need to, consume morally and physically compromised crap constantly that will constantly break down, and you'll have to buy a new one constantly, trading your specialization for it at lower and lower rates. We've reached a turning point. It's time to change. Well, I'm almost to the river now, so I'm gonna turn this off. That's my thought for the day.